So I decided to come back and do part 2 of what else we had going on here. But first things first. Now I lay down to sleep. Don't say a word. Right? Who didn't want to be Lars when you heard that song? Off to Neverland. Oh my gosh, she's really lost it now. She's listening to heavy metal on YouTube. I did see those guys when I was like 17. One of my first concerts. Can you do that? Oh, yeah, I can do that. All right. I'm going to do the angel guides first, then I'm going to do the romance angels, then I'm going to do some tarot, okay? So again, welcome. It's a Metal Monday over here, y'all, okay? Groceries have been delivered and put away. The dogs have been given their ice cream snacks. 1965, yeah! Woo! Pick a can, any can, hey, come around, hey, right? No, I don't do that. I don't do 3-card Monties. I don't do anyone named Monty. You know why? Because I watched that movie. You know the one. The one starring Joan Crawford, which they remade into a series starring Kate Winslet. I didn't watch the full series, sorry Kate. I've already seen the movie many, many times over. So I know to stay away from guys named Monty. Not including Monty Hall. However, I believe he has passed from us, so probably not a clear and present danger to any of us. Although I think he was more interested in giving things away. Archangel Michael. Yes. Exactly. Archangel Michael would be like, you want to try? Like, do you really want to try? You might be having to call them to scrape you up off the cement. Right? Exactly. When Archangel Michael finishes you, defend us in battle. You know, he has a whole prayer dedicated to him. Archangel Michael, defend us in battle. He ain't coming here because somebody was like, oh, can you help pet me, blah, blah, blah. No, he ain't here for that. See, he's wearing the sword literally on his chest. Yo, y'all ever see that movie? Last Crusade, right? He goes back in there to choose the cup. And the guy's like, well, he has that crest. Defend us in battle. Maybe you'll need a little Rob Zombie to help get you in the mood, right? You know what I mean? Pump you up for that big game. Pump you up for that test you're gonna ace, right? Saying, I got Archangel Michael on my side. Ain't nobody coming to trip me up. And if they do, they're gonna. Exactly. What does it say here? Truth, protection, and clarity. You know how I feel about face tattoos, guys? And this Archangel Michael has a little face tattoo. Right here. Right here. Right here. You understand what I'm saying? You understand what I am saying? Most people don't want to mess with somebody who's got a face tattoo. Just look, right? Even Jesus is like, yeah, dog, that's all you, bro. You know, it's like the Bob Hope. You go first. You go first. Yes, I'm old enough to know what Bob Hope is. Anyway, I did get to watch a little bit of television and movies as a child. As a wee youngin', yes. Merlin. 24. That. Alchemy, manifestation, and magician. Yeah, you think of Merlin. Isn't that Disney movie when Mickey dresses up as Merlin, right? And then the brooms get all out of control. He can't control the magic. The magic. Okay. But, you know, think about Mickey. Mickey's just a little guy, you know, just making his way in the world, right? When we're grown, right, we know how to harness that better into our manifestations, right? Where somebody is like, oh, yeah, you look pretty snappy today putting that outfit together, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm not a fan of neck tattoos either, but he's got one. He's like, see, I'll pop that collar, it'll set off my neck tattoo and make it look good, right? Any tattoo artists on here watching video? You know, it used to be like they wouldn't do a face, neck, hand. You know, they used to not do those. I don't know how the policies are now, but you know, we're all adults anyway. So, collective. Oh, and there's an owl on his arm as well. Okay, so you may be very focused. You may, I feel like, either have walked through this battle or walking through it now, or have kind of like near the end of it, and you're starting to see what it looks like on the other side. And you're like, this isn't so bad. Like, you know, I wasn't really considering a guy with a neck tattoo before, but you know, the rest of him was put well together. Do you know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. Okay? Whereas, you know, yeah. Whereas before it'd be like, oh, well, you know the one, right? And sometimes they're the one taking you down the road you don't want to be on, okay? Archangel Christiel, higher consciousness, light, and the Christ light here. Okay. Very interesting. As my previous reading, I was talking about being blonde versus brunette, you know, accepting yourself for who you are, right? Maybe you always wanted to be blonde. Go get yourself a nice wig. You know what I mean? Try it out for a day. You know, they still sell wigs on QVC also. They're kind of cute, by the way. You have Mother Guy here on the bottom of the deck. I'm gonna just keep it for these three though for right now. All right. I'm gonna go get into the romance angels. Rainbow in the dark. Bum, 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 bum. Sorry, guys. I got caught a whiff of that fresh air outside, and it was just, you know what I mean? It's almost like good sleeping weather. It's like just, the air is just crisp enough, you know, that you're just like, be out like 10 minutes. All right. Unrequited love. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. Okay. So as you've been walking through this battle with Archangel Michael protecting you, you may have realized that you've been walking alone on this earthly planet, right? And had to turn to your guides to help get you through. Okay. And, you know, maybe on the other side of it is realizing that some of that was unrequited, right? Doesn't really have anything to do with you per se as a person, brunette, blonde, whatever, right? It's just unrequited. Okay. It's another good one. This is another one. I've never seen this video before. He was carrying the sword. Dude, you guys, just like I was talking about, the sword. So holy oh, and there's rats in the video. If you saw my reading earlier today, there was something about rats. So there might be significance for somebody here, okay? Like, not like as a mole or a rat. What's that movie? I've seen it so many times. Well, the American version is called The Departed, right? And they have to figure out who the rat is. Right? It wasn't Leonardo DiCaprio. Worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. Okay, so if you are manifesting love, okay, so this person may not be your typical, normal type, all right, but I mean, clean, yes, well put together, yes, okay. All those hair metal guys, maybe you're something like, oh, I like long hair guys. Well, maybe they come in with a little short haircut, and you're like, who is this sharp dressed man? Okay. Well, let me tell you, it's somebody that's worth waiting for and worth putting your time into, especially if they're willing to put time. Yeah, see, he's looking like, yeah, I know what I got going on, girl. Hey, man, you don't like it, then we don't have to, okay, you know what I'm saying? You don't think there would be other women, or men as well, being like, hey, okay. Yeah. So, see how these angels are like wrapped in this as well? So, you might be feeling, this is giving the Stevie Nicks vibes, right? Like, Edge of 17 type thing, and the girl sees somebody, but, she's shy, and, right? And he's like, looking like the magic man, literally. Merlin, the magician, the magic man, okay? Now, maybe you and this Merlin character will be That was a fun video. Keep wanting to come out in reverse. I think it's just the way they were shuffled. So I don't really do reversals, guys. FYI, I do read the energy of the card down. Okay. Reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. Okay. And it almost looks like he's holding her back here, but I feel like actually what it is holding her in place. Okay. So somebody might want you to be placed in their life, okay? They may view you as the light of their life, okay? In the church, we say light from light, true God from true God. And this says, with the Christ light here. This is very significant. Also, I was channeling this earlier. So, collective as well. And this ties into the first reading where, acceptance of where you are at in a situation. You may have lost a battle, but, you're still in a full war for yourself, right? So, some people will use that Christ light as a manipulation tactic to get you to do things that you don't necessarily agree with, but you think are supposed to be part of your manifestation. And I'm going to give you the perfect example. And you can go and watch this movie. A lot of you probably already have. The movie Pulp Fiction, where they, have the suitcase. Here, what's in the suitcase? What's in it? It's like, ooh. Wallace's soul, was in that suitcase. But if you recall, everyone that came in contact with that suitcase, it didn't turn out very well for them that day. Right? So this is what I'm saying. Just because somebody possesses the suitcase, all right, doesn't mean they're the owner of what's in the suitcase. And they might be showing it to you, and it looks all good and sparkly, doesn't it? And then when you get in there, you find out it's the same old routine, right? Or else they're trying to manipulate you into saying or doing something that is just not aligned with your manifestation. It'll be very clear to you, and it's the unfortunate part of it is some of these people, I think they actually think they're doing the right thing, and that's where the trust issues come in, right? So, count to 5, use your discernment, say, I'll think about it and get back to you in the morning, right? Don't give people an answer right away. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. You don't owe them anything, as a matter of fact. Okay, so, yeah, letting go of control issues. Okay. So let's get into some tarot with this. All right. So I don't know if somebody from this reconciliation, if this is related to some kind of false positive that was being presented to you in the past, okay? But I really want you guys to think about this in terms of that movie and, how he was trying to get that suitcase back, the whole time, and what he himself had to go through, how many people he had to pay, all this stuff, right? So sometimes what will happen is if you are able to see auras, are sensitive to different energies and things of that nature, you will actually see this hue. Okay, but recall that it can be presented in a way that isn't really reflective of the glow that you want to be giving out. Okay? Some of it may be somebody else's glow, right? And you have your own glow to work on, right? There's other people, they'll be having, you shine on their windows for 50 years because you're the best window shiner ever, and, never let you go and develop. Anyway. I don't know who came onto my channel and thought they spoke for Ren and James Dio and the Rainbow Family, but sorry I had to remove you from the chat. Because we're not doing black magic over here, so that's what they accuse a lot of these metalheads. Oh my God, they're worshiping Satan. They're shouting at the devil. Ah! Right? See, this is the thing. Some people be like, "Oh, don't shout at them. Don't shout at the devilish little psychos." Really? You're just gonna let them come in your house and let them shit up on your fucking lawn? Who are you working for, sir? Who are you working for? Hmm? Right? Read the contracts. Right? That's what the devil say. Read the contracts. Oh, your eyes weren't working on that little itty bitty print? Too bad, you signed it anyway. Right? That's what they say. I just saw on YouTube, it was something in Missouri. These public administrators that are becoming essentially like the power of attorney and seizing assets of proclaimed incompetent individuals in the state, which basically is wiping these people out. Everything that they had worked for in their whole lives. This one guy, I think he was actually upset because I don't think he was living near his mother at the time, and so he asked for some temporary assistance, temporary guardianship to help assist her. And then that turned into her becoming this ward of the state. And they wouldn't even let him see her. Can you imagine? Some government entity just being like, no. And what they called it was a paperwork prison. It's really sick, so it's like, that's your government working for you, huh? No, thank you. No, thank you. I'll remember that next time someone suggests moving to Missouri, right? I don't think it's, unique to them, but the news stories definitely define it as an ongoing problem that I think a lot of people didn't even realize was there. You know what I mean? And see, this Four of Cups is giving me kind of that same, like when somebody comes in and sneaks off with something that belongs to you while you're busy, God forbid, not paying attention to them, right? Not paying attention to every criminal element stuck in your crack. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, I thought the law was actually supposed to be on the side of, oh, that's not the America that you voted for? Oh, okay, well, I guess you're just a big fucko then, right? Remind me not to tell you any of my secrets then. And stay off my lawn while you're at it. Don't even bother knocking on my door. Sorry, little Archangel Michael. You know. You know that Archangel Michael is just be like, whoa, pop you right to the front and be like, you're ready. Trial by fire. I had that happen my first, when I was in college, my first bartending gig, and it was like the busy night, and I had never bartended before, and it was just like, you know, some straight hours of chaos. And they're like, you know, it was not until after the shift ended that it was finally, I think I actually took a breath. Sorry, I cannot see what is in the chat there. Is that English? Whoever you are with an account, sorry. The King of Pentacles. Okay. So again, yeah, party at nighttime, but maybe when it's all buttoned up, you can't even see Mr. King of Pentacles neck tattoo. I don't know why I'm stuck on this neck tattoo thing today. Anyway, so again, the earth signs, I know I mentioned the earth signs in the previous reading today because of the Ace of Pentacles. So again, this is one of these things where it's like, when you're called to step up and lead, you do it, right? And you know, if they don't like that you have your pentacle here, that's too bad, because it wasn't given to you by any of them. Okay? This is what a lot of karmic people don't understand, and that's why they get themselves in trouble with the law, because they don't really understand the meaning of work, the meaning of dedication. The King of Pentacles is somebody who, I hate to say it like this, but, you know, you'd be like, honey, let's go to the comedy club this week. And they're like, you know what I mean? They might not be so into that, right? Because they see the troubled ones trying to climb up the mountain with their sticks, okay? But the King of Pentacles is also aware of the helpers that we have. Sometimes it comes in the form of a warning. Let's continue on here. LA woman. LA woman. LA woman's gonna have to do. I was saying it sounds like Elvis when I sing the LA woman's gonna have to do. Okay. Yeah, like Anne Margaret. LA woman, you know. Oh, wasn't she from Sweden or somewhere? Anyway. Right? Three of Swords. Yeah, nobody cared when that Anne Margaret was shaking it and dancing around, right? Sleeping with who? Oh, I don't know. Some people are just very sexual beings. Yeah, we know. We know. So, again, you might be out here looking good, giving that glow and all that stuff. And at the same time, you're breaking hearts because people have this weird expectation that because you have that glow, that means, oh, you're meant for me. La 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 la. You know, just because they see that about you doesn't mean they have agency over you. No. So again, whoever is trying to reconcile here, just be aware of that. I'm not getting a bad vibe off this reconciliation, but I am saying that some people might expect this reconciliation to go a lot better, where you're like, reconcile with what? Like, we were never even a thing. Reconcile with what? You never had time for me. Reconcile with what? We broke up 15 years ago. you know what I mean? Okay, but they're like, oh, they look good. Well, yeah. So when you stop messing with the fuckery and the dancery, right, Mary J? Right? How many people you think were sliding into Mary J. Blige's DMs on that, especially when she started doing that dance video stuff and whatever? They're like, is that Mary J? Is that Mary J? I gotta get me some of that Mary J. So, intentions, right? What's the old movies? Sir, what are your intentions with dating my daughter? Alright. Again, Three of Pentacles. This came out in the first reading as well. So I feel like, collective, you're definitely attractive to people that want to work with you. I don't know that you're finding that at the time, but at the same time, some of these things that are coming out are in terms of building, right? So especially somebody who follows through with their manifestations, okay? Getting to those pentacles, right? You know, what are some of those TV shows when they go and look at the houses, and you know, it's obvious that these people don't make a lot of money, and you're like, how can they afford that, right? Well, sometimes you have to start smaller, right? And then the next time, and then the next time, and then the next time, and then before you know it, you're sitting here at King of Pentacles, looking and feeling as fresh as a Merlin over here, and you know, and Mr. King of Pentacles and Merlin's like, hey, I know a couple angels. Let's go on a double date. Let's get this show on the road. All right. Train kept a rolling all night long. Okay. So I guess, you know, I don't want to oversell this Three of Swords over here, because for some of you it's not going to be your energy. It's going to be somebody else. It's going to be like, oh, well, you left me in a lurch, or and I'm laughing just because, you know, who was left in a lurch because of what behaviors? Like, some of these people, when they say these things, it's like, do you even realize what you're saying? Do you even know the story? And again, with the giving, you know, because we are in the season of giving, you know, giving responsibly and in ways that you know are going to benefit others as well. Okay, so again, a King of Pentacles doesn't stay a King of Pentacles because he has his wallet open to everybody that has their hand out. But they can give accordingly and appropriately, right? Some people, that's in accordance with, you know, rules of their church or religion and stuff. Some people have that. You might have your own personal goal set with that, okay? And like I mentioned in the previous reading today, you know, sometimes it might be like, look, this year I can't contribute. Last year I was able to, or just say, you know, this year I'm choosing a different path for my giving, you know, things of that nature, because some of this stuff is none of anybody else's business, right? And them coming in to try and sneak and take it away from you is exactly what Archangel Michael wants you to see. so that you can understand that your type of giving, your unrequited love that you have for humanity and la la la, and fairies and butterflies and la la la, guess what? There is somebody around the corner waiting to take it and take advantage of you, and they could even be your own family members. I know, shocking. Right? Or the state, for that matter, like in the case of those Missouri cases where those unfortunate folks have been living a nightmare fighting the state for their own property. I mean, it's really disgusting, actually. You know, and these are people that lived good lives, right? Giving to others, right? A lot of people think, oh, well, they're in that situation because they must have done something bad. If that's what you think, you might get a visit from Archangel Michael himself to show you what it means to be bad in order to be good to yourself, in order to be true to yourself, in order to be the person that is worth waiting for. All right. I'm going to leave you guys here with Archangel Michael because it was the first card out, and I think it's very important. And, you know, here's a nice feminine angel as well. Reminding you to glow from within, right? And if anyone starts presenting you with a glow, saying like, oh, I can do all, ooh. No, that's all an illusion. That's all fake. This is what's yours. This is already yours. You possess this already. They cannot bestow it upon you. Okay? Like today I have no makeup on. I got my tie-dye shirt on and some, you know, fleece pants. Okay? The other day I had a dress on and makeup and, you know, hair done, blah, blah. That inner glow belongs to me. I made that happen, right? Like I was talking about earlier. You know, manifesting looking good. Okay? So people come in and they, oh, I'll do this makeover on you. I'll do this on you. I'll do that on you. Well, and then you see how they look afterwards. Sometimes they don't even look like themselves at all. You know? I'm not saying don't try new things. Okay? I'm just saying you already have it within you. Sometimes it, you know, is hidden because, you know, maybe you know, hashtag mom so hard, you know, whatever the case. All right. All right, y'all. I think I need to get off of here for a bit and continue on with the rest of my day. So if you did enjoy this reading, please do like and consider subscribing to this channel. Remember, you do not have to be a subscriber in order to like the video, and every reading here is free. I never charge anybody to watch my YouTube videos. The only thing that it's costing you is your time. Okay, and if you end up watching any of the ads to get through the channel, if you're not a YouTube premium subscriber, okay. Personally, I have YouTube premium and it cuts out on all the ads, and I personally prefer that as a YouTube user for the experience. And also you get a lot of free movies and stuff, like a lot of the movies I've posted out on the community tab, like Teen Wolf and stuff like that. Like those are available right now on YouTube to watch, you know, because when I was growing up, we had video stores, and you had to actually get in your car and go to the video store or walk down to the video store with your friends from your friend's house and rent the movie and then walk or drive all the way back. Right? It wasn't just click, click, click. Now we have so many things available to us. So to take advantage of that, especially if you are on YouTube, be mindful of what things you're listening to, especially as you move through this season of gratitude and into the new year, because the most important thing heading into the new year is to fill yourself with that higher consciousness, that light, okay? And so that when 2026 rolls around, you know, people be like, what happened? What happened? You'll be like, what do you mean what happened? I've been here, honey. I've been here. Anyway, so that is the message for today. Until next time, please do manifest wisely. Bye.